piece. I got a perspective. And it goes along with people pleasing, questioning yourself, doubting yourself, and just not doing what you feel right because you're proving something. You know how they all go to connect. Like, let's say you tell somebody that you'll do something and you really didn't want to, and then later it will go on and on and on in your mind, and then you'll either grow some agitation or resentment towards that person, or you'll say it because you know you can do it, but even though you don't want to do it. And let's turn it around. You tell someone no because you wanted to say no. Then they guilt you. And you could possibly be gaslighted, manipulated, whatever, because I feel like everything kind of goes hand in hand. But you sit there and question yourself because you have to prove to yourself, if you might not realize this, you're questioning yourself because do you realize that you are trying to prove to yourself that you know you're a good person, you know you can help, and you know you'll do these things for the other person when you are really people pleasing, but yet you're doubting too, because even though you say no, if you follow along, question yourself and guilting yourself or allowing yourself to feel guilty by what other people might say to you, in a sense of manipulation, because you're not doing what they want you to do. Do you realize that? Like, you are trying to prove something to yourself when if you don't want it, you don't want it. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean you're not a good friend. It doesn't mean you don't have integrity or morals. It's just like simple as no means no, yes means yes. But I feel like it all goes along with a different form of people pleasing, not like the first thought of what people pleasing is, like brown nosing in whatever ways you want to express it. Because if you sit there and overthink after the fact and you're questioning yourself, and then do you ever ask yourself, what am I trying to prove? Like, I just wanted to say no. I mean, people have this, but I've been learning this lesson because I like to be nice, and it's not like I have to prove I'm nice or prove to other people, but I realized I've enabled other people to treat me a certain way because I didn't realize this form of people pleasing, because it was me. I don't know if gaslighting would be the right word, to myself, and I would be people pleasing because I didn't realize I didn't have anything to prove. And you can say lack of confidence, lack of like knowing myself, but I think we all do it in forms because even though we know we can, doesn't mean we have to. And you might get this like quickly, like on the surface level, but if you really think about it, if you go through conversations and then after the fact, it's okay to discern and analyze yourself. But if you feel, oh, I could have done that, or the scenario is running around in your head, maybe ask yourself, what am I trying to prove? I just wanted to say no. If this person is acting some sort of way, then it's really their personal problem, because I'm not a bad person. I don't have anything to prove because it's just not what I wanted in the time. You know, like, I mean, we can minimize it down to, you know, you could be allergic to food and you don't want it, but, and like, why you question yourself because this person asked you to and you know you're a nice person. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you really think about it, it will. You know, like, the bread is stale. It's stale. So when I say no, it's because the bread's stale and I don't want to eat it. And I don't have to further explain myself. No means no. Like, to the point where you don't have to further communicate anymore. Like, you just have to know that when you say no, you mean no. Because I get, like, even in relationships of all sorts, there's a point where, you know, there's good communication, but when do you finally realize no means no, or yes means yes? And there's not further analysis, I can't even say that word, and no questioning yourself, and then no proving to yourself, because that person weirdly may know or may not know that it's a form of manipulation. I don't know if you get this, but what do you think of people pleasing after the fact? When you're questioning yourself, after you tell someone something because you just didn't want to do it, but then you feel guilt because you didn't. Is it guilt, or are you trying to prove something that you don't have to? Because you're used to playing a character or a role that you didn't want. Or you know what I mean?